Hello my beauties, how's everyone doing? If you're new here, my name is Zona Davani and I welcome you. Here we talk all things femininity, faith, style, beauty, you name it, we are on it. Please become part of this family by simply hitting the subscribe button if you are interested in any of these things that I mentioned. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any new videos that I drop. And to my returning beauties, welcome back. It's always lovely to see you again. On today's video, I'm getting ready for my date. But while I get ready, I'm gonna have a chat with you about different things. I did run a quick poll on my YouTube. It was literally on for 15 minutes before I started filming. I saw a few questions that I will be addressing here. We're gonna talk about femininity, the toxic elements to it, and people are saying it's a scam. Is it really a scam? We're going to chat about that and also the benefits that I've enjoyed with becoming intentional with my femininity and just embracing who I am as a woman. When I get ready, I like to create a lovely ambience, you know, just to get the mood right. As you saw on my opening segment, I was lighting up some candles. Thank you so much to the lovely ladies at Sanity Handcraft Co. They make handmade beautiful nifty little pieces like candles and mini trays for putting your accessories, also candle holders. They have their own cute little matchsticks as well, believe it or not. When they send you their package, you'll get that too. So they sent me this lovely lemongrass and mint candle, which is so sweet. It smells really lovely. I could smell it even from the box without even lighting it up. I truly appreciate that. And you can check out their Instagram page and website to make your own purchases. I have a 10% discount coupon code for that, so I'm putting it right here on the screen. You can make use of it on your first purchase with Sanity Handcraft Co. This is gonna be a quick, easy, soft glam look. We're gonna start off with this Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Jumping straight into today's chat about femininity. I've seen a few videos now that say femininity is a scam or this is toxic. What can I say? Any movement will have those naysayers, you know. It's really important for you to know your why with starting anything, making a lifestyle change, because it doesn't matter what you choose to do. There will always be opposing voices. If you're only going to do something because everyone agrees with it, you will never do anything. In the same breath, there will also always be some toxic elements into anything. So you just pick your struggle. The negative connotations to femininity that I would say make people call it a scam is the evident focus on doing this to attract a rich man. While in its pure authenticity, femininity is about coming to yourself, you know, just learning to embrace your womanhood and doing things that help you enhance that interest and exuding those feminine qualities like gentleness, having a heart for your loved ones, you know, just being more relaxed as well, and giving yourself full attention, making sure that you're well taken care of, embracing your natural womanly qualities. Things like being nurturing, being caring, not only for others, but yourself as well. Those are all innate qualities to a woman. When we are intentional about being feminine, it shows. This is about becoming more intentional with taking these qualities out of deep inside ourselves, but into the surface and operating from that space on an everyday basis. While for some people it might be easy to just be feminine, you know, from the day they were born, but some of us have been dealt some cards in life that made us more hardcore, adopting masculine traits of being closed up emotionally, just being competitive, worrying and protecting ourselves way too much, so much that we have become cold. Because of the experiences we've had, now we have to make intentional choices and take everyday actions that ensure that we embrace that femininity and it manifests in every area of our lives. And in some cases, you were just raised in an environment where being feminine was not embraced. Maybe you were raised even by your father. You never really had any feminine figures to look up to. There's many different reasons why you would have to be more intentional with your femininity. So the argument is that as women, it's natural for us to be feminine. So this movement now, where you see people creating content about femininity, books coming out about femininity being a scam, people are basing that argument on the fact that as women it's supposed to come naturally, or to teach women these things is to make them operate in a fake manner. It's not even that. It's not even that. It's going back to your natural self. Many people have not had the influences of women teaching them how to be a woman, and we can't lie to ourselves and think that we can do everything that men do and we will still stand out. Femininity for me is about taking ownership of my being a woman and doing everything in that manner of appreciating who I am, how I operate, even in the professional space, not doing things as men would do, just walking in my own lane, seeking growth but in my own way, not in a cold-hearted manner. Another area that I would maybe understand a person saying femininity is a scam is the particular focus on image, making it seem like the only way you can be feminine is through your looks. That is not the main thing, but it's also a big part, because it doesn't matter how deep you want to be about life, believing that your looks don't matter, how you package yourself, people must look at your heart. Sadly, that's the ideal, but it doesn't always happen that way. You do have to put an effort into how you look. It does affect how people address or perceive you, but it's not the only thing, because sometimes a person can be dressed up in lovely dresses and bows, but the minute they open their mouth, they're filthy, they are rude. That is not feminine. That is not even good as a human being. However, image is not completely cut out when we talk about femininity. For you to even be approached for conversation by anyone, how you addressed in a professional manner, in any way possible, how you have packaged yourself does a lot to affect how people perceive you, even yourself. I know this from myself. When I am unkept and having not properly taken good care of myself, I tend to immediately just drop in terms of my mood. But the minute I take that moment to wash up, even if I'm not gonna go into like a fancy dress or anything, but just put on something that I like, nice lovely lounge sets, it changes just the way I perceive myself, not to even mention what it does to other people. And of course, the fact that God, when he created us in his image. That tells you what image is about, because he is capable of anything. He did create animals, but they don't resemble him. And his word says he created us in his own image. That is important. Image is important for us to reflect him, his goodness. We know God is not visible, but we see him through ourselves. I didn't mean to preach, but the way you feel about yourself does reflect on your image. So in as much as people say the outer elements to femininity shouldn't matter, It does. Even though it's not the main thing, it really does. It's become a bit more important in my own observation as well for women to take ownership of their gender, especially in today's times where things like gender fluidity seem to be a thing, which I'm not against. But for any woman who still wants to stand out as a woman, choosing to be more intentional with embracing your femininity is amazing. It's great. It means you appreciate what God has made you. You just want to be that to the T, without fear. Because over the past few years and decades was an era where displaying any womanly characters was deemed as weakness. We still see that even now. Even when people put on makeup or lipstick or anything that is distinctly feminine or attached to being a woman, they would be deemed weak or selling out, which is not fair, because in its nature, in its foundations, femininity was about gender equality in the workspace, equal opportunities, political rights. Never something to say it is wrong to be a woman. There's nothing wrong with being a woman and embracing the qualities and taking interest in things that are known to be attached to womanhood. Things like that, wearing your makeup and, you know, dressing in dresses instead of pants like men do. And then there's the notion that being feminine or being intentional with your femininity journey, you are doing that to impress men. That sounds silly, even me just saying that now. For someone like myself who is happily married, would I be going at such lengths if it was just about attracting men? I already have a man. You know, it doesn't make sense to me that people will just take something that women are doing for themselves, you know, finally embracing being women, and make it about men. And interestingly, it's these people that think are so against men that have this idea that this is about men. Why can't we just learn to see women doing something for themselves and accept that it's for themselves? Why must we immediately think about men when women are doing these things? And even if it does help them in the area of men being more attractive, what is wrong with that? Where is the danger? Because we are opposite genders that are meant to attract one another. This mindset that men, let's burn them, there are trends like that. Since when are we enemies, guys? Since when? I know a lot of people have gotten really hardened and angered against men because of some gender-based violence in many parts of the world. And this is horrible. This is sad. But it's not all men who participate in these things. And I'm always caught slack for saying this on my social media platforms, like I'm what's this, pick me or something. But honestly, that's not the case. Not all men participate in these things. It's like people saying, well, let's cancel all women because a few women are gold diggers. What's up with that? Does it even make sense to you? Does it even? I don't like foolish group mentality, mob mentalities like that. Let us not group people. We cry about these things when people talk about black women, when people talk about all sorts of things, or people talk about Christians and just putting that blanket over the situation. But when it comes to men, I'm not there. I have 2 sons, I have 2 lovely brothers, I have lovely male cousins and all that. So I'm not coming for that, guys. We are not enemies with men. We are not. If your journey into becoming more feminine is rubbing people the wrong way and they think it's about attracting men, you're not the only one, and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you are looking to attract a man, good for you. There's nothing wrong with being loved and loved right, but it will start from you loving yourself and reflecting that love. Whatever they get is an overflow of what you have put into yourself. The outcome of that femininity that you are being intentional with building up within yourself and embracing more, they will receive it as an outpour, because you have first given the attention to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with you giving yourself to someone who loves and appreciates you, showing these traits to them, nurturing, caring for them. That is what we bring to the table, and they are bringing what they are supposed to bring to the table. It's that simple. I've learned so much about myself through my journey into embracing my femininity. Grew up in a mostly women household, raised by my mom and my grandmother and my aunties, and sadly for us, not like horribly terrible said, but they were all women that were raising their own kids, had to be strong for themselves and their kids for such a long time. So it was natural for me to adopt that independent lady, strong woman persona, and just ready to fight for myself in this world. Which is, there's nothing wrong with independence, but I saw how it affected how I relate with men. Because one, I was not used to seeing women receive love and care from a man consistently. So naturally for me, I've just known to work hard for myself and not receive anything from any men, because I never saw it. So I saw myself display these qualities, not being able to receive, being dined, being wined. And you don't think of these things when they happen or before you are in that position, before you learn how a woman is supposed to be treated. You just think you are fine, you're an independent young woman, but you see it in small things like not being able to take a compliment. If someone is complimenting you, you feel like you quickly have to compliment them back. You just have a tough time accepting simple things like compliments. And then gifts, if someone gifts you something, you immediately feel like you need to be thinking about their next gift to return that gift, which there is nothing completely wrong with wanting to return a gift. However, if you feel unworthy, you question them even giving you that gift is a sign of something that's lacking within you, that you don't feel like you deserve to be gifted. And it happens when you are so used to being your own person, being independent, and never really seeing that love given to you. You don't notice it happening, but if you watch closely, you watch that pattern, it does show itself. Early on in my relationship with my husband, I would even forget to ask for help because I was not used to having a male figure that's consistent in my life. And I was just operating in the space of being my own provider, protector, operating in all those masculine traits because I had been alone. I had that mentality of I can do it, I'm that strong woman for such a long time. And he would have to stop me in my tracks that I'm here. These are some of the things I should be doing, or I would be extremely appreciative about what he has done. And he will say, oh, that's my duty. That's what I'm here for anyway. Not that I don't appreciate those things anymore. Now I understand and I receive them well because I deserve them. They are coming from a man who's consistent, who is in love with me. And I know for sure that had I not embraced my qualities as a woman and my value that I bring into a space that I'm in my relationship, in my family, in my marriage, I still would be struggling in those areas. And sometimes this rigid, independent woman energy and, you know, masculine energy creeps up and creates unnecessary tension and fight. One of the ladies asked, oh, how do I deal with family? Oh, she actually said, how did I deal, yeah, when I first started my journey into becoming more feminine. It was very subtle. I never announced it to anyone. I never announced it to say, well, I'm becoming more feminine now, which would be foolish to do, or just to say I'm leveling up my life, or putting out statuses about I'm leveling up or something, just to let them in on what I'm currently going through. They just saw with the results. And my journey was mostly on the internal elements of femininity, as opposed to the external. I've just always had that on lock, you know. I've just always had an interest in feminine outfits, and literally, like, I've just always loved dressing like a grown, matured young lady, sophisticated elegance. And they started to see in my lifestyle, though, they started to see how chilled I had become. And one of the areas that are closely attached to my femininity journey, my Christianity, is the lifestyle, the party lifestyle. When I became more feminine, it was shortly after I had been born again. So they saw that new change all at once. I remember my cool auntie. We all have that cool auntie. My auntie who had known about a lot of my shenanigans. Dating life, party life, all the exploring and all that. When she noticed the changes within me, she was like, hey, my girl, something is happening and I love it. Is it what happened? And I told her about it. Changed everything. You have changed even your friends now. You don't party as much as you used to. So I didn't announce it. They just saw the result. I remember her even saying, hey, Sana, hey, usewali lady. You know, so I chat that book. Loose translation, she was saying, you've become such a polished lady. I'm sure you're gonna get married soon. I could tell that they saw something different in me, and I was actually single at the time, but it was evident that something amazing was happening in my life, and it was just me changing my lifestyle. And she was saying, oh, so you stopped easy. Meaning you stopped drinking. You know, she was just noticing all these things. So they were embracing it, excited for me. That may not be the reception for everyone, especially if it is happening around people that have contributed to you being more masculine or hardcore. But you have to take heart. Whenever you introduce new changes in your life, not everyone is ready to clap for you, but stick to your why you even started. And on the area of friends, once you start to elevate your life, those that are not for it are just easy, they just fall off somehow. And with anything, I don't suggest things like telling them that you have stopped being friends with them. They will see in your moves. You don't have to be burning any bridges. Whenever there's a parting or any growing apart, you certainly don't want it to be with bitterness or hard feelings. If anything, even the ones that you had hectic disagreements with, you might find yourself just making peace and forgiving them as you become more at peace with who you are and just healing. Because another part to being more feminine is about healing yourself, using whatever methods that you can find to heal yourself. Because in our most healed form, we are loving, we are caring, we are soft, we are feminine. We're not competing with anyone. We are not angry or bitter at anyone, regardless of whatever gender that they fall into. So for someone who's gonna embark on this journey, I would highly suggest that you don't tell them about it. Just let them see the results, to avoid being discouraged. And also, if they discourage or start laughing at you when you start things that they never used to see you do, just take your time, relax, continue with. In case you're watching this and thinking, what is she even talking about? What is this femininity? Why do I even want to give it a try? but maybe liking the results that I say I've had with becoming more intentional. I do have a video where I go into greater detail as to what femininity is and how you can start your own personal journey. It's always worth noting, with any lifestyle change, you adjust it in such a way that it suits your own life, and you seek as much information as possible about it so that you can make it authentic to yourself. Really, it's been an amazing journey. Don't worry yourself about all these mini rules that exist out there. You take what you can, what works for you, and you leave everything else outside. But I can assure you from my own experience that it helped a lot. You know, small things like understanding male authority. I struggled with that even like on a professional level. I just didn't know how to do it, and that affects on how you respect humans as well, because you don't start to have an attitude about a person before you've even had an encounter with them, and you already have this attitude that they can't lead you because they are a man. This is one of the many dangerous things that we do as women when we think someone's out to get us on the simple basis of us being women. Also, in the area of friends, you don't have to cut all ties with all your friends because you are on your feminine journey. You don't have to have friends that are on that exact journey. So if you have not had any issues, any habitual things that you've been doing together that are detrimental to your new outlook to life, I don't see why you should worry about cutting ties, because the nature of friendship is really rooted in us bringing in different things to the friendship. However, if your connection still wants you to operate on those masculine traits that you are running away from, or that hardened, strong, hurt woman that you once were, that you are breaking away from, then there may be a reason to spend less time together, but connect on other things where there is no tension or there is no interruption of your own flow. We are almost done here. I'm gonna be showing you my outfit shortly. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying this light, chilled conversation. One of the reasons we may get bad rap for femininity is if we start to act all high nose about it, you know, that we are bougie now, we are better than everyone, then that's gonna become a problem. You never want to be that person over any life change that you make. If anything, on lifestyle changes for me with my faith, the main thing was to get my friends in on it as well, because I had seen the benefits of that. And for people that you genuinely care for, you share the things that make you better. And with that, we have finished the look. I went ahead and did my lips. Is there anyone else who struggles to put on some color on their lips? Because initially when I started this, I thought I'd put on some red lipstick, but as I was about to finish, I just went to my nude. Please teach me how to wear other lip colors. Let me get dressed and we wrap up with this video. If you enjoyed this conversation, again, please hit the thumbs up, and if you are not yet subscribed, please do. And this is our final look. I'm wearing a black dress. I'm gonna get you a full picture just now, otherwise I'm in a hurry. I want to go. The dress is from Shein. I'm gonna leave a direct link for it down below. Cheers ladies, it was lovely. I'll see you on my next video. I love you. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Thank you.